So now, Jennifer, how, as a lending professional, do you determine if a property is a good investment for the person that wants to finance?
Well, first, being a realtor helps, but first I dig into the financials. Sometimes people they go first looking for the home, and that actually shouldn't be
The primary
their
criteria.
primary. They should go to the lender first.
Okay.
Once I know they're approved, then it's about, okay, what are you looking for? Because this is what you're qualified for. And then I go into, like, I work with a realtor. So if once they go shopping, I have that conversation with a realtor about ratios, about if we're tight, go ahead and call me so I can run the numbers and make sure that this works before we even go ahead and do the work.
Yeah.
So it's a team effort. It's a team work with the buyer, the realtor, and everybody in the transaction. Has to be involved to be able to assist that person.
See, that's the problem. See, it's me. I, application, throw it, get out of my office.
Teamwork makes the dream work. We got to remember this.
It's so true. It's very true.
But the whole thing is, how many times really have we all had that person come out and like, okay, you really want to take out your shotgun and blow them away, but you can't because you can go to jail. But they're wasting your time. How do you stop these people from wasting our time?
And I think my thought is that we're not going to. And I will tell clients. I know that Dina and Jennifer have heard me say this to clients directly. Is that I'm not going to go show you things you cannot afford.
Okay.
We're
Right.
going to work on items that are that you can actually get you in,
Right.
because it's not setting a realistic expectation for you,
Right.
and it's wasting your time, it's wasting our time, it's wasting lender and
Yeah.
everyone's time if you can't actually buy that property.
And I'll give you an example. And it's an investor that we have at the title company. He has close to $200 million in refinances.
Okay.
All right. But this is the kicker. He opened title ready to close, but now he's dragging his feet on the close because, one, he wants to set it up so that when he gets the money in, he can set up a line of credit. Well, you should have did that before you even opened title.
And I think that's, well, apparently if he has that much, he's very seasoned.
Right.
So, I mean, that's just a great
But-
question, because most of your seasoned investors think about these
Yeah,
things.
but he
on the
didn't.
front end.
He didn't. He did everything in reverse order. Get the approval on where you're going to place the funds so that you can get a secured line of credit with the funds you're getting out, because he's going to get like $160 million.
Yeah.
And so get that set up that the bank is going to accept these funds so they can have the secure line of credit.
Let me give you my card so you can give it to me.
I will. And this is not a problem, Mr. Blackwell.
No, it's not.
But he went in reverse order. So now we're waiting on the bank. Well, I look at it this way. That's people's livelihoods that you have in suspense right now because you didn't do things in the appropriate order. So I have to ask myself, who's advising him and what advice would you have given him?
Well,
Can I intercede
Go
for
ahead.
a minute? Because
Yes.
I gotta get this out of my chest. Sometimes people, how can I explain? They have expectations of how things work, and because they're in a certain level of income,
Mhm.
that they can just
Do anything they want.
do anything
Yes.
they want. So, a perfect example. I have a couple. I mean, their DTI was 9. All right, so their back end ratio was 9. That's how much income they have. But throughout the process, everything, they submitted all the documents, but we needed certain income documentation to submit it to underwriting. 1 week before closing, they submit the income documentation.
Wow.
File goes in, but there's also file approved. But now there's also things that we need to have clear conditions, which one of them is VOD. So in that time frame, the guy is super busy, mind
Yeah.
you. But because he's super busy, now I'm struggling with the documentation, with the information. So I'm raising hell and hot water to my underwriting department. This is closing today. Well, we couldn't close because they couldn't provide me with the information needed for me to get the CTC, the clear to close. Goes on to another day, same situation. Well, I'm still struggling. They clear the file at 4 o'clock, but now they cannot send it, so the file has to now close supposedly on Monday. They say, we're gonna cancel the file.
Oh,
wow.
We are appalled by the way that you guys handle this situation. So I'm here at this point, I was just want to scream. And so you give me the documentation, you don't let the flow of it, and then you want to blame. So there's this. I just realized some people you just cannot make happy, and whatever you do, because I had 10 people on staff working on this file to make this happen. Still, it wasn't enough. So, I mean,
Sometimes you can't please them.
You just
And I think, but back to your situation, EL, is that sometimes these people think that they know what they're going to do.
Yes.
But then find out that there's something better or a better way for them to do it, like this guy using the funds to secure it and get more loans off of it. So maybe he didn't know that on the front end,
Right.
and no one advised him of that.
And see, that's my whole thing is, that's one of those situations, stay in your lane.
Yes.
That's like, yeah, could you come over and change the oil on my car? Hell no.
Yeah.
No.
I
Okay.
like my motor.
There you go. He likes his motor. Okay. Yeah, can you come over and help me paint this room? No.
Nope.
No. Okay. But if you say, yeah, let's go look for watches, I'm your guy.
I need a suit.
I'm your guy.
You don't know what to say.
You got to know where your lane is.
Yeah.
But you have so many people out there who want to invest. They have no clue or understanding what their lane is. And so one of the things that I hope that we do this year, and I think we are, I really want to have that that want-to-be investor or that investor training class produced by the Real Estate Youth Show on a Saturday afternoon, and letting people know who want to invest in real estate, who want to purchase investment properties, that we are here to answer your questions, but also most importantly, we're here to represent your interests so that you make an informed decision. Because in the last 3 weeks, dealing with investors, God bless y'all. I have no how to deal with it. I'm on the title side with the marketing part, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not even escrow. These people that will do anything, I wanted to hurt them myself. Okay? I'm just waiting for the check to clear. They don't even want to let the check clear.
In terms of being a real estate professional representing an investor who tends to not want to follow the guidelines, that we've set forth, this is what we've talked about and we do in the office is after a conversation, we call it an educational conversation in terms of timelines and why we need to adhere to these timelines, et cetera, like Jennifer said, just because you have millions of dollars sitting on the table does not mean that the seller will not lose their patience with you and just sometimes they don't even want to,
And you
do
also
these
have
things
to
with you.
respect other people's time.
Yes.
Time.
You're talking about we try to clear a file, 5 days before closing. You're giving me the documentation a week before. There's so many little intricacies that people don't know that happens. Technology has actually made the lending world actually harder. It was meant to be made easier, but that's a lie, because things get glitched.
Yeah.
Everything is now done electronically.
The screen gets frozen. I've seen that happen. A loan that was going through process, the screen froze.
Wow.
So they could not go to the next page to finish out the documentation that they're requesting signed. I'm talking about me. With our house, the screen froze.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. No, I don't have nowhere to go. It unfroze 45 minutes later.
Wow.
So the technology part, you're right. I am a huge believer in paper. I don't care what people say. I'm a paper person.
I mean, I come from back when we used to send Federal Express packages to the lenders to be underwritten. Processes were better. Put that thing in the fax, they got it, they picked it up. Now it's just like so intricate. It's so
Well, I think
It's
the
very
big thing
involved.
now
It's very
is
involved.
that we also get so much communication.
Yes.
I have to repeat that I'm E.L. Crane in there or not?
Yes.
Okay. I'm E.L. Crane in there or not?
If you need some help, I'll help you. He's EL Crane, and we are not.
There you go. This is clearly established rules here. Okay. Now, when I first came in, our producer Michelle asked me, did my wife let me come outside dressed the way I was?
Okay, folks, he came in today. Start doing this number.
I like what he did. He talking about. I just knew I was perfectly together, but obviously not.
And then he saw the monitor and said, "Oh, that's what y'all talking about." Let me adjust myself.
And I was still missing the button. But anyway, okay. So, Dina, do you need a management company immediately, or does a person have the capacity to manage a few properties on their own? What do you think?
I mean, I know many investors who manage their own properties,
Mhm.
but there comes a point in time where maybe it gets to be too much for
Okay,
them.
okay.
You have to think property management companies have particular software to help them, through
Right.
this process. What is
Tenants
this?
put in requests.
Yes,
and that
little
kind of thing.
Right.
online requests, etc. They streamline everything. If you just have one or two properties, you might not go through all these extra measures, and you're fine with that. But not everybody's temperament and personality is
Right.
cut out to be a
And
landlord.
And the lifestyle too.
Correct.
The
Yes.
lifestyle may not.
If you're
be
traveling and you don't have service and your tenant's AC goes out in Houston summertime, you're gonna have some issues. I promise you that.
I'm gonna tell them I don't care.
And if you're not a seasoned in person and know that your lease says that AC going out is not an emergency, folks.
That's
Sorry to
right.
tell
It's
you.
not.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
It's
they
not.
actually split
Plumbing
it
is
into
emergency.
pieces.
Plumbing, if it can have health,
Yes.
plumbing can be a health hazard. AC cannot be a health hazard.
Right.
Correct.
And that's
Right.
part of knowing the rules,
Well, but that
of
also
the-
goes to, I mean, HVAC technician in Houston in the middle of the summer, it may take 2 or 3 days.
That's
get
right. To
someone
get to
there.
you. That's right.
and
That's exactly right.
That's why it's very nice to have a property manager in place to have these discussions with the tenants
Right.
and make them aware of not only their rights but also the reality of the rights of the landlord
Right.
and just hey, it's summertime. HVAC technicians are running anywhere from 24 to 72 hours just to take our calls
Yeah.
and respond to us and then get out to you. So
Yeah, because I know I have a friend of mine. His name is Clay Sheffield, and Clay, he's cool dude, air conditioning, right? And during the summer, his message on his phone is, "I'm fixing somebody's AC. Text me."
Mhm.
Constant. In the summer, he's constantly fixing somebody's AC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Constantly fixing my AC because basically, people,
They only
the
do
reason
it
you have
for-
air conditioning in the world today because living in the South back then was hell. So now, when they brought AC in, that's when the South actually blossomed
Yes.
in regard to land and homes and stuff like that. But if they didn't have AC down here, this would be a barren desert.
Because I'm going to tell you now, I do not like 105 day.
It's not pretty.
No,
It's
It's not
not.
pretty. So, Miss Jennifer,
Yes, sir.
that woman, what has been the best property type for you to fund a mortgage loan on in regard to investors? What kind of properties?
Multifamilies are usually my preference because they're easier.
Okay.
Every time you have a person buying one investment, it's more of a personal thing. There's limited funds.
Okay.
And so everything has to be a little bit more calculated. Not that the big investors not, but they're more seasoned, and
Okay.
so they have more possibilities. You don't
Okay.
have to be, it is what it is.
Mhm.
But it's also fun to do it with people because when they listen, it's really, I just worked recently with a lady. She's, was moving to a new home. And when I tell you that lady did exactly what I told her, she did. She went ahead, we refinanced her property, she paid her debt, we increased her credit from 600 to almost 720. She bought her house, she's debt free. Now she's getting a little bit of
Some
rental income. And now, not only that, because she was a bank statement person, we're going to work on doing her taxes properly. Because she makes money. It's
Yeah.
just
Right.
that, whoever's advised to her does not do it properly. So, that creates me joy because now, man, somebody took the time to listen and it works.
It's
You know?
wonderful to see
Yeah.
it through and see people
It is.
successful because they
And she's
were
so
you were
appreciative.
part of it. Yeah.
She's so appreciative, but I go like, you know what, you did that.
And they remember you.
Yeah.
When you take the time to educate your clients and they know you have their back,
Yeah.
I mean, they are your clients for life.
Okay. I'm in the studio with a bunch of damn social workers. Okay.
Not really. You know what? Look, I see people all the time and they spend thousands and thousands of dollars marketing themselves, okay? Because they need new people all the time because they don't
That is true.
They don't get enough referrals just from. You should. I mean, if you've been in the business a long time, right? Let's just say over 10 years, you should have regular flow of
Yes.
referrals coming in every month, and then if you market, that's just because you're trying to grow your business even more. But other people, they have to do that because they literally don't get any referrals anymore because they're done. They're just looking at they're looking at stuff for themselves.
This is why I teach.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that we even had someone that we filed eviction for last year, who now wants us to help her buy her primary residence.
Yeah.
So you was nice. How are you nice in the eviction process?
No,
Somebody
it's
explain that to me.
Okay, so we had to follow the steps. She understood that. We explained that to her, that we had to protect the owner's interest in his property, and not doing this. But she was actually, once we did, she was able to get assistance. She was one of the ones that was able to get
Okay.
like 6
So you
months worth
actually
of back
helped
rent.
her. It was
So it
just
actually
like
helped her.
Okay.
But we also treated her with fairness and respect, so that way she, but she didn't feel like mistreated or anything, and educated her.
Right.
So now she wants us to help her buy her
There you
primary
go.
residence.
This is what it is. And this is why you do it. Like I'm from old school, and the best referral business. I mean, the best business is the referral.
It really
Yes.
is.
That's your best marketing.
Okay.
So, and I believe and Dina is absolutely right. There comes a point that in your profession that your referrals will be your main source, and you don't have to spend those marketing dollars.
Okay.
Has a following.
Yes.
I'm the person that represents the slip and fall portion of the show. I'm E.L. Crane.
I am not.
He's not. All
I'm
right.
Chris Blackwell.
He's the cute one. All right. I'm the adorable one.
The
This
vivacious
is the
one.
vivacious one, and that woman.
That
She's gonna have a shirt next week that says that
Yeah.
one.
Okay, Jennifer, in finance and real estate investors, what is you as a mortgage professional looking for in that investor? What are you looking for in that investor to be willing to
Definitely
give them money?
They have to have assets.
Okay.
That's a must. I mean, as an investor, I can get you a loan, low credit,
Okay.
no income verification, but you must have assets to show in a bank account at least 6 months reserves.
Oh, okay. 6 months.
3 to
Okay.
6 months reserve.
Mm-hmm.
Higher credit always helps. And for that person to be transparent,
Right.
with their goals and with what they have.
Right.
Like I said, once the file goes in and information is found, it's hard for me to pull back.
Right.
Versus giving an explanation and making that file stronger. And that's what your loan officer should be doing. It's helping you prepare your file to be submitted to this person that is only going to know you in paper, right? It's just giving it strength, and that's what we do. That's our job.
See, now there's a difference. See, when I was a lender back then, I'd look at a file. I said, okay, we can hide that. We don't have to say nothing about that. The days have changed. They investigating everything now.
Well, that's the reason why she said it's electronic You can't hide.
Can't hide nothing no
And
more.
things have tightened up. People that come into trying to get a mortgage loan or trying to invest will typically complain to their real estate professional. That lender is just asking, might as well just ask me for my blood type next and this and that. They just get, I said, look, your lender's doing their job. If they don't get all this information from you now, our process can be delayed later. They already know what they're going to
That's
ask
true.
you for, and even after you turn all that in, and it goes under review from underwriting, they still may come back and ask a few more questions.
And
So it's just
And this is another thing too, though, is that the new investor doesn't understand that if you're going to move on something, we've got to move quickly.
Right.
So it's better for us to have all of these, everything, all of our T's crossed, our
Right.
I's dotted, so that way then, Jennifer gives you that approval, we can actually come back and say, okay, you want to submit on an offer? Like, hang on, I'm typing it up right now,
Right.
we'll get that signed and submitted. Because if not, someone else is looking for that next great deal too.
Let me ask you a question, subscribers. Do you lend money to people you don't know?
No.
Okay. If they don't pay you, do you lend them again?
Double hell no.
Okay, so why will you think a lender is not going to ask you, short of your DNA, to lend you $500,000?
True. That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true. But I'm going to add on to that. Everybody knows my assistant Elaine, right? She just bought her first house, right? And Elaine was one of those young people that college was not for her.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that. She likes being in the business world, right? So, because she's only been in the business world for a couple of years, you know what they did? They asked for her college transcript. And I was teasing, you know you ain't going to get no loan now. They look at your college transcript. So, of course, we got that. We got that wave, but it was like I said, I'm sorry, you got to live in your car. If they look at your college transcript, you got a whole bunch of
People, you don't understand. This is his assistant. He actually likes this one.
I know. Imagine if he didn't.
So it's not my fault. Okay, Chris.
Yes.
Do you have a criteria set up for the investor client so that they are not wasting your time?
Honestly, not a specific criteria.
Mm-hmm.
Because, one innovative group, we do both commercial and residential.
Okay.
So we're not, specific to that. But really it's just more about, having proof of funds or having some kind of pre-approval
Okay.
before we really start digging in
Okay.
and having that conversation of what their goals are. So that way we can, ensure that we're getting them, to that goal mark.
Okay. Because I've always wondered, was there like, I always teach in terms of create that avatar client that you want for yourself. And I was wondering on the investment side, it's like, hey, they need to have XYZ percentage of dollars in the bank before I talk to them, or outside of the pre-approval, they need to have overview of what they're expecting of me. That kind of thing. That's why I asked that question.
Well, I mean, as far as an overview, I think it's just more about what their goal is and what, because we, at One Innovative Group, we also have our management division. So, a lot of our clients are loyal. If they're looking to expand their portfolios, they come back to us because they know that we do a great job.
Okay, yeah.
And so, I mean, I think that's really where, for our client is, we like those loyal clients that we can just keep servicing and, keep providing, value-added services too.
So here's a question that I'm going to run through the three of you. Do the three of you assist the client with an investment strategy? And how does that work from locating, management, and funding? How's in the strategy part?
Well, we always, any client, we will actually sit down, the three of us, and a lot of times Stephen Blackwell will join us because he does more on the management side. But us as an entire team will sit there and hold a meeting with the client, sit down, and we'll start you off with speaking to lending, and then we all have a conversation on basically on this goal, because maybe the goal was that they thought, oh, it's going to be a single-family home, but then after speaking to lending, it's actually switched, and we're going, okay, well, now we're actually going to be going with a duplex.
Correct.
Okay.
Or we're going to go ahead and, I'm looking for something for my daughter, and I want it within, 10 miles or less from the university.
Oh, okay.
And this is what we're doing, and so forth and so on. So, again, every person is very unique with their goal.
Right.
And I think that as far as One Innovative Group and Platinum One go, we really trust our lenders. Okay? And so if Jennifer tells us, hey, we can't go outside this price range. I've verified assets. I've we trust that she's done all that.
Right.
We're not going to move and try to, dig into our clients' confidential information much further. This is just, all we need to know from a
Everybody has their
lender,
role. Everybody has their role.
This is what's going on.
And as a lender, I cannot disclose any information to other than the client. I cannot even discuss this with them. All I can tell them is yes, you guys give
That's
me
why I don't have your
pay.
password?
That's right. So you understand that when you come to me, everything is confidential. Okay, nothing is disclosed to your realtor, to my friend, to my husband, to my kids.
That's
Matter
right.
of fact, I don't want to talk about you.
Remember, this is the Real Estate You Show, and we are in the Homes and Land Studio, powered by Monarch Title. I'm joined by Dina Ramos, she of the Spanglish.
She is.
Yeah, she speaks Spanglish.
I do.
Yeah, it's not her fault.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's always the mother's fault.
oh yeah, and Mama Ramos not happy that she speaks Spanglish. Okay. Okay. Then I have the cute one, Chris Blackwell, and there he goes. His crown is intact. His crown is intact. And then we got that woman over there. Okay. Right. You know, the smile that has launched 1,000 ships. Okay, Dina.
Yes, sir.
How do you work with the investor to address their long-term goals? I mean, what advice do you give them?
Well, advice only comes after you sit down and really listen to their history of what do they know, what have they done in terms of real estate investing, if anything at all. What is a timeline they would like to stay in to make a certain amount of money, or was it just to hold properties as rentals? Some are just strictly fix and flip people. So if that's what they say, that they don't want to be landlords, adamant about that, that's fine. We will then have to find properties, and it's really a numbers game. Chris will tell you that.
Right.
He creates a spreadsheet for them and says, okay, look, here's the numbers, what we're looking at, an after repair value versus purchase price, and you have to be within a certain percentage to make it worthwhile.
Okay. So, and one of the things it comes to mind for me, and this is for Jennifer, do you spend any time evaluating what their return on investment is, or are you just financing the deal?
Well, it depends on the investors, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
There's some that are really, they're real seasoned, because to them it's about the numbers. They want to make sure, especially in bigger investments, they want to know what their yearly return is going to be.
Okay.
So the answer to that is depends.
Okay. Is that an answer?
Yeah, it just depends on
Depends.
the
That's you saw how she did that. This depends.
She's
Okay.
very self-dancing too.
Yeah, that was a little bit of that. Yeah. Okay, because when it comes to investing, in the past and dealing with investors, I have a no tolerance kind of thing, because for a lot of things, that's true. But with investors is they all think they're going to make $1 million on that one deal. And that's where my patience just kind of runs its course. Like, okay, you're an idiot. That's not happening. But you can't say that anymore. They'll sue you.
No, I won't sue you for that. They just will turn around and not work with you.
Oh, that's the same thing.
But I think that one of the big things is that it's dependent on the client, because you have the if they've gone to like a seminar and everything that's sending them some false information,
Yes.
that's where you'll end up with a lot of those. If it's really someone who's listening and wants to get educated,
Okay.
you can actually get them thinking about like what is that actual goal, and to go back to that, are you wanting to hold some stuff, or is it like Dina said, fix and flip it to get a little bit of quick cash, or maybe it's that there's going to kind of be a blended situation to where that client's going to do a couple flips, get some assets put in the bank, and then they want to start holding the properties going forward.
Yeah, because as a former banker, I can't tell you how many times we had potential borrowers, investors, coming to the bank and had this huge plan. Yeah. This how much money is going to make, and so my first question always, how much money you got in the bank? That's always my first question. So nobody's going to give you all the money you need for an investment, even if it's a good investment. You have got to have some financial exposure. But some people don't hear that. So how do you get them to understand that when they're adamant about, oh, you just don't know what you're talking about, because I don't need any money. Look how much money you're going to make with this deal. But to get to the deal, there needs to be money available.
Correct. And I really think that it's just...
I know exactly what it is, misinformation from those classes that
Yes.
they tell them zero money down.
Oh, God,
you don't
yes.
need to use any money. There's ways you can shave off dollars, but you always need to have money.
Right.
Appraisals cost money. title companies,
Inspections.
inspections.
Yeah, earnest
You
money.
know, people,
Yeah.
there's professions in that industry to get you to the place that they get paid, and they're
Yeah.
not going to do this for free.
No, and like I saw a earnest money check came in the other day. I don't know what they're buying, but the earnest money was like $900,000. Okay, so in my mind, that's 10% of something. In my mind, okay. So $900,000 earnest money. So that person put that money down. They have the necessary exposure
Correct.
to get qualified for the loan that you'll provide. But so how these people go to these classes, and I always have said this from years past and even now, those classes don't make you an expert.
No.
Those classes mean you have the capacity to pay the bill to get in them. That's all it does. It doesn't make you an expert. These are the experts. And so the professionals are the ones who will guide you. Now, I'm not saying you can't get some tidbits from those classes because
Yes.
you can. But it's not one size fits all. And every time I see where you can buy these homes and these properties with no money down or no money available and use their money and stuff like that, I'm like sitting there, okay, if that was true, there would be no homelessness.
Exactly. And not what they teach doesn't apply to every market.
Yes, that is correct.
You know, so
That
they
is
may
correct.
be coming from Minnesota, coming and teaching in Florida, that will never work.
Yeah.
You know, and you're gonna go crazy and frustrated because there's an understanding about the market that you need to have in the market that you're investing.
That's right.
Right.
You know, and I've made my share of mistakes. When I started to be an investor, I started diversifying too far. I went and bought in Vegas. That choked me. That's I had kids, smaller kids. That was 5 hours on a flight from home. I didn't have I had a property manager, but still.
Yeah.
You know, so when it comes to that, you got to know and you got to be able to have control of that. Because I lost control of the investments, you know, I had. And at that point, the market had crashed. Oh, my God. It was like,
Yeah.
and you always have to have an exit strategy.
Yeah.
You know?
And the one thing I used to tease people all the time, stop staying up in the middle of the night looking at those infomercials. Stop staying up in the night looking at those infomercials. That is giving you information a little bit so that you can cut that check or swipe that credit card, and then you go to the classes. And I can't think of his name right now. A whole bunch of NBA players got caught up in that like about 12 years ago,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
they lost millions and millions of dollars because they thought it applied to them. No. Like you said, it's based on markets. It's based on available properties. It's based on a variety of things. It's not investing in real estate is not one size fits all.
Right.
It's not, and it can't be.
Buying is not one size fits
No,
all.
it is not.
What applies to him doesn't apply to me, and vice versa, because we have different lifestyles, we have different jobs, different circumstances. So no loan is the same. So it kills me when people go, because my neighbor told me.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, see, I always say to that. Who told you that? That way. Who told you that?
Can I get her number, please?
Yeah. You know your neighbor broke, right?
And I think, but going back to your thing, is that if you're having to pay a lot of money to go to a seminar, then you really need to think about and evaluate is that there's nothing wrong with paying for education,
Yes.
but what is the goal of the seminar?
Yes.
You know,
Absolutely.
we're talking about holding something that would either be free or low cost.
Right.
You know, and the outlook would be is that, you know, you like the information we provide, and then you work with us to help you with your
Exactly.
investing future, not asking you to come in and pay $500 to have
Oh, yeah.
a seat.
If not more,
Five
yeah,
thousand,
thousands,
my
right.
friend.
Yeah. 5,000.
There was a lady
5,000.
I went to real estate investment for women in the building where my office is, and there was a lady about to pay $5,000. And I was like, okay, so you want an Airbnb? You're gonna go ahead and pay $5,000 so they can teach you how Airbnb. Do you know that with $5,000, that money you're using for information that's already accessible to you
Free.
for free, and that could be go to your
Earnest money.
earnest money to buying the
Appraisal.
Appraisal.
Survey,
the
appraisal,
inspection,
inspection.
furniture.
Right.
I mean, for a whole bunch of
Oh, for
things.
the Airbnb, yeah.
Because they were gonna teach her how to do it based on she's gonna rent. She was not gonna buy. She was gonna rent the property and make income from that.
Okay. So what
And
we're
I'll
gonna do
teach you how to do that.
right
Yeah.
there.
About his products.
Yeah, and when Drew and I met the other day, we were talking, and he was talking about other builders, and the conversation went into a more productive direction based on they do not compromise on quality to meet somebody else's price. They're not going to compromise on quality.
Because you do not hear today, but Drew's philosophy is that he will not build a home that he will not personally live in.
That's right. And people have gone out to see the homes. They say, okay, he's not lying.
Yeah.
It's not a theme, people. That is actual quote. Very first time we met Drew was like 23 years old.
Yes.
I will not live in a home. I will not build a home that I will not live in.
Yes.
And he was over in a area that was under $200,000. When I walked those homes, I was like, "What the hell?"
They had granite countertops.
Yeah.
They had nice closets in the primary bedroom.
Exactly. He's really, if there's such thing as a builder prodigy, that would be Drew.
He really is.
Yeah, he's 26 damn years old, and I
was
say
gonna
that.
say, you were talking about meeting him at 23. That
Yeah.
was not that many years
Yeah,
ago.
that was 3 years ago.
He's
23.
very mature, and you know what? He's humble. He's mature.
Yeah.
He's conscientious. I love his homes, and they're energy efficient.
Yes.
They're smart homes. And Conroe says, "Oh, that's too bad." No, it's not. I mean, it's what, a 35-minute drive into town.
Probably 30 to 40
Sorry,
minute drive.
and it's only 12 minutes from there to the Woodlands Mall.
Yeah.
12
and the
minutes.
great thing is that even the city of Conroe, though, is one of the fastest growing
It
cities.
is the fastest growing city in the United States of America, Conroe, Texas. Who knew?
No one would have thought this years ago.
No.
But the nice thing about that is that as they are growing, you, like you all said, you have the nice amenities of being close to the Woodlands Mall.
Yeah.
A lot of the restaurants that you would see in Uptown
Yeah.
or Midtown in Houston, you can actually find out here as well.
That's right.
And so it makes a very convenient location.
Because I always tease Drew, I said, close enough but far enough away.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in the Deer Trail Estates, can you please give them the phone number to reach out, because we can tell you about buyer incentives that
Yes.
are now available to make it an even better deal for you.
But you can reach us at 877-852-4401. Once again, 877-852-4401.
And also remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the button.
Hit the notification bell.
Yeah. So basically, y'all need to do better than what y'all doing. Okay, I'm just letting you know right now. Okay. So yeah, but it's just those are the kind of things that. So we still have the estates of Mar-a-Lago
Yes.
going
Yes.
on, $1 million homes over there for those who want to be behind the gate and keep the bad people out. Jennifer. But no, we have the estates of Mar-a-Lago. We have the stuff going on with Drew. We got some stuff getting ready to come up with Toll Brothers and Builder Boost and things like that. So it's a lot of things going on here at the Real Estate Youth Show. And the dynamic is, as I was explaining to somebody else who mentioned another show to me, I said, one, we're not a self-serving show. We are a show of service.
Correct.
That's the difference. Okay? So I'm E.L. Crane. They're not, but this is the Real Estate Youth Show here each and every Saturday, 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time. I'm always on time. That woman is a whole...
She slid into home base right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, she did. She was safe today. She was safe.
She
She was
was.
safe.
She's got it down. She's got
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
She was.
She had the routine.
This was she hit that corner on two wheels every Saturday. She turned through that program on two wheels like, who is? Oh, that's Jennifer. So Jennifer,
Yes.
what are some of the red flags on an investment loan request that make you say, no, hell no, I'm not doing it?
Well, I can tell you that red flags do come out.
Okay.
You know, and it has to be from the commitment. It first starts with a commitment from the client. You know, not returning calls.
Right.
Or if they start with, you never told me that. You know, those are red flags for me where I start now, okay, I gotta strain this out because it can actually create problems for you as a professional, right? So we're regulated and you can make complaints. So to avoid that, that's where my red flags start coming
Okay.
out. You know, deeper, if they pass my test, then the lender they do criminal background checks.
Huh?
Yes, they
When that start?
they do. Commercial lenders are actually doing it.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yes, and everybody in a transaction, in a real estate transaction, you every time I do a loan and anybody is in that paper, they go through an FBI to see if you're in the most wanted. This is mortgage fraud.
But see, I have a question. They not doing that on church loans. Is that?
They just trusting the church is doing the right thing.
I'm just saying.
But let's remember, you don't like church loans.
I like church loans. So actually, but what I just heard was churches got criminals, so they don't waste their time checking on them.
Exactly. You'll be surprised.
I know, you never know.
But yes, I had recently a client that, her rap sheet was about two, and this is a 65-year-old lady.
She's had a little time to develop that.
And it just starts making sense because it's patterns.
Yeah.
People have patterns, and so okay, that explains it.
But see me, people say, yo, you got any skeletons in your closet? Hell yeah, I got 3 closets. What you talking about?
I'll make you some room.
Yeah, I mean, you got someone else you want to put in there? What the hell? But see, because you don't hear as much mortgage fraud in commercial as you do in residential. Okay?
You're right about that.
Right? And so because you don't see as much mortgage fraud in commercial as residential, that's surprising that they're doing that.
You know why? It's because residential, mortgage, commercial loans have now kind of gone into the residential side.
Behavior-wise?
Well, yeah, because there's those DRCR homes are considered
That's right.
business homes.
That's right.
So they
Right.
have now, it's pulled into the residential. So
Okay.
now they're just, they cannot make comparisons, so they just do it to everybody.
Well, see, we just got a house, so I'm good.
Yeah, you're good now.
All right.
You can
We don't
breathe
know
now.
about that one.
That one, I'm good. So but it's just it's so different out there now. And one of the things that when I was in the bank, when we had our bank, if you lost money on a previous investment, we put up a sign of the cross like,
Yeah.
Is it still the same way if you lost money on a previous investment?
And part of that is does the investor have experience? So that's a big thing right now. You're going to be penalized point-wise and rate-wise if you're a new investor. So they put the risks more, you're more risky client. So
Because you had failures in the past.
Well, failures or you don't have it.
It's like
Okay.
no rental, like no credit history. at this point.
Right. And and then I learned something about credit history, right?
Oh,
Personally. The younger your credit, the more you're penalized.
correct.
The older your credit, the more you're idolized. That's the easiest way to put it.
Are you an idol?
No, I'm not. No, I'm a penalized. Okay. Because when Uncle Sam is in your bank account for 10 years, you don't have an opportunity to buy nothing, okay?
You don't.
You got to get permission. Yeah, you trying to buy what? No, you can't buy nothing. You need to pay us first.
They said no.
Oh,
So, and so in learning that part of it,
Yeah.
that also makes you like, man, I don't want to open up a new account because when you open up a new account, the average age of your account goes down.
Correct.
So, all right, but you want me to get credit, but you want to penalize me when I get credit, pick a team, damn it.
always consult with your lender first. I mean,
Yeah.
you have a plan. You may not be ready to buy or invest at this moment, but if you're thinking and you're going to do that in the future, go and sit down with your lender.
Yes.
Look at your situation, talk about your situation, and then you plan a strategy on how you're going to take care of it, how
Right.
you're going to get to your goal. It might not be something that you do today.
Right,
It
for
might
sure.
take a couple of years.
And I think it also, I was just thinking about this, with the comment you just made, is that a lot of times you'll hear people talk about, oh, well, do you have someone in your family who has like a good credit line
Right.
that maybe they could put you as an authorized user, so
Oh,
you
yeah.
can get that in there.
Right.
But that kind of goes back to what we've seen a lot with investors as well, is that the newer investors will do joint ventures with more seasoned investors.
Yeah.
Settle it in. It's not
Right.
as risky of a
Get
deal.
those history, yeah. And because, like me personally, my Dun and Bradstreet is much better than my personal, but I can buy with either one. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, but most commercial loans now, they're dealing with your personal versus your Dun and Bradstreet. So it's like, so your D&B, it has value to a commercial bank, but it doesn't have value to a commercial lender. Yeah. So it's really all kind of different things going on out there. One of the things that I'm looking for, because like that woman, she likes to venture off into investment talk and
Yeah.
let's do this, that, do that, stuff like that. And all I want to do is go eat. But anyway, how do we get the person that should be investing to diversify their income streams to understand the benefits of coming to our future classes?
So, investments can come in many forms.
Okay.
Right? And sometimes, like the other day, I was talking to a client. Your money right now is in your 401k, but that's losing money every day.
Yes.
Correct? So you're just taking it out of there because she thought she was losing something. You're just taking it out of there and using another vehicle, which right now is going to be more profitable.
Yes.
And she understood that, right?
Or even if it's not more profitable, it's at least a safer investment.
Exactly. It's not losing money every day. You got to know at least if you're capping yourself at 10% or 9%, but you're not losing money, and that's a more safer vehicle now. So when I've learned that I balance things out and use different examples because it tends to, instead of going with this mumbo jumbo financial wordings that people don't get, I just use common sense scenarios, to help and make that correlation. So a person that wants to invest, it's someone that may be starting or, that wants and feels stuck for that next level, or even wants to get advice on how to go ahead and do more, create more wealth. But it takes, when you're ready, we're here. But you also have to be able to listen.
I think that's the biggest thing. And you talked about the stock market. I was actually speaking to someone last week that she was talking that she lost $5,000 in her 401k. Since the last time she looked at it just a couple months ago, and I brought it up to her that when we start doing the classes, you and your spouse should come and sit in, so that way you guys can decide. Maybe you can use some of those 401k funds, pull them out of that, put them into real estate, which is historically a safer investment, and drive that because they're mid 50s, so they're not wanting to have really crazy investments at this point because they are planning for retirement hopefully within the next 10 years.
Right. And you guys, if you create a portfolio in real estate, you can actually plan your retirement.
Exactly.
How many homes do you need to retire is the question, and what is it going to take you to get there? And it's not just like you work and you pay Social Security when you retire. It's the same thing with real estate. It's just going to create a higher spread, right? And you're going to create more wealth through that. But you can literally say, if I have 10 homes, this is the income that they're giving me. Can I live on that?
Yeah.
It actually can be done. So it's about planning, people. Planning.
Yes.
It just doesn't happen today, but it's something that you need to start today.
Okay.
And I know we had some technical difficulties at the beginning of our last show, but we hadn't brought this up to you, but Dean and I were thinking that maybe we bring our good friend Danielle Campbell back and maybe do some of those segments again because that was
I didn't like her.
That's because she told you half your stuff was that one's.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's just telling you the Texas law, sir.
Well,
estate
I'm
planning
moving-
is
It
just
was-
important.
I'm moving to
were talking
Montana.
You were talking about planning. He didn't get a prenup.
That's all there was. That's what he
Oh, that what it was?
Yeah.
I'm moving to Montana, damn it. Get me a horse and get out there in the woods. Okay, I'm Leo Crane. They are not. This has been the Real Estate U Show. We thank you for watching. We thank you for listening. But most importantly, we hope you learn something, okay?
Yes.
Because if you want to invest in real estate to grow your portfolio and grow your value, investing is the way. And think about it, the shortest distance between broke and having something is real estate,
It is.
okay? Yeah, stuff like that. So, Jennifer, what you got going on next week outside of talking crazy to me?
Talking crazy.
Okay. Everybody has a goal.
Yes.
So I actually want to start visiting broker offices and giving presentations and stuff like that. So I'm gonna start working on that to be more out there now that I'm settled. Children are taken care of. Gives me more time.
What she did, what she said is, she just took my advice: ignore the children like they don't exist.
Crackers and water, people. Peanut butter after the lefties.
There you go. What you got going on next week, Chris?
I'll actually be doing a little bit of traveling this week. Headed to Florida for some classes and trainings, and then also working on our listings with Alta Homes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've got quite a bit of interest for 2 of our listings currently, so hopefully we'll be getting those deals under contract. But that's really the goals for this week, is get those contracts inked.
Okay. How about you, Queen of the South?
Same thing. We have the new listings that we need to put up ASAP in Deer Trail Estates, and get meeting with photographers and so on. The rigmarole. But we're really excited about it.
Okay.
Very, very excited.
What
Okay.
about you, sir?
Well, my normal stuff. Getting in trouble.
Yes. What
Are
kind
you
of trouble
teaching
this
this
week?
week?
Yeah, I got 5 classes I'm teaching this week. 3 in person, 2 online.
I know we talked about it a couple weeks ago. How did the live streaming class go?
Oh, really well. I called them Monday after I saw the clicker of how many people signed on. And of course, I tell them all the time, I'm counting y'all's money, right? So I said, hey, they had 198 people on the screen. That was $99 a piece. I went to the mailbox yesterday, wasn't nothing in there.
Well, sir, it is 2023. That's an ACH.
There's nothing in there for me. So, but next week is going to be really, really good with the classes and things like that. And some new relationships are starting. One of the companies that I'm teaching for, they are creating lender-realtor combinations.
Okay.
So the realtors...
I got mine.
Yeah, she got her.
Yes.
So and it's a thing because they like how I do the pairing
Yes.
and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about that. But this time I want to check. Anyway, I'm not giving up nothing without check
Jennifer's
this time.
also bilingual, so
She is.
Yeah, she
She's
speaks.
ignored.
Yeah, she speaks both wife and money. Those are her 2 languages
Wow.
right there. Wife and money. Okay, so I need you people to tell the people bye, people.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.